Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles show in West Hollywood. And I'm here with co-directors Sarah and Jennifer with their movie Finishing Touches. Let's take a look at the clip. Ladies, thank you so much for your wonderful film, Finishing Touches. For those that haven't had the pleasure of seeing it, tell us a brief synopsis.
You want to go for it?
Yeah. I guess quick rundown would be like, it's about these little dolls. They all have these masks, and these dolls come to life from this mask maker who makes their masks, and but all their masks are the same because the mask maker, he became obsessed with making kind of like this perfect mask, but in turn it kind of like gets projected onto the dolls, so they all become like the same monodic kind of like mechanical creature. But an accident happens, and these two dolls, their masks get cracks in them, and it hinders and it changes them because the mask kind of like their function breaks, and then they have to find a way to fix themselves. And they make their way to the mask maker's studio, and from there they discover paint, and in that way they can kind of like one of them, I guess, is more of let's fix these things, and he finds the room of other masks, and then they kind of like they work with the mask maker, and they kind of find their new identities.
It's a really beautiful story on so many levels. I really enjoyed the world that you took us in. It was so incredible, and not to mention how insanely talented you both are, and it was incredible to watch. And there's just a wonderful, wonderful morale to it as well. Now, you actually tell us a little story about how you got together and how you were inspired to create this particular story.
Yeah, so we were in a class with our teacher, and we kind of discussed how we have this class where we can do a group project where you can get a bunch of students together, you get to pitch it. It's really cool, and he thought that we would make a good team because I wanted to do a film, she wanted to do a film, and he was like, you know what, let's see how you guys work together. So we had no idea who we were, just kind of, I ran into her and didn't realize it was her.
Yeah, it was really interesting because like he first connected us, and it was just before the Christmas break, and so I didn't know her email, and she didn't know my email, but the only email that we both knew was my teacher's, and he like forwarded an email to both of us.
He put you together.
Yeah, but the email that her school email, she doesn't check very often.
I've gotten better now.
Okay.
So like I responded to her, but then because I didn't know she didn't check her school email, I thought like she didn't like me.
So, which was not the case.
Yeah, I was just like, did I do something wrong? What? So then like after the break, I forget exactly, but I was asking around for her because I didn't know what she looked like either. So I was running through all these classrooms like, do you guys know a Sarah Weaver? It's like, yeah, she just left. I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, I ran out, and there was like a bunch of people, and I literally just stood in the hall, and I just screamed, Sarah Weaver.
That's how you find your co-director. Scream it out to the universe. There you go.
I just yelled, and then she turned around, and I'm like, hello.
I was like, whoa. Doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
But yeah, once we kind of met each other, we sat down, and she had this little notebook of ideas. Like I had rough ideas of kind of like things that I wanted to tell. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more like, that's the cool thing about animation is that it's limitless. So I wanted to do something a little bit more like visual, and she had a few different ideas, and this is the one that we kind of ran with because it was one of those where it started off kind of different, and then we just ended up like throwing out ideas, and eventually it morphed into what it is. So
well, I'm glad you screamed out and found each other because that was important. Because I couldn't imagine your talents and not bringing that together and creating what you did do. So when you're co-directing, particularly animation, like so who takes on what role? Is there certain elements that you have or as part of your gifts and talents, or do you kind of share it? How does that necessarily work with each other?
Yeah, Yeah, so we have very different skill sets. Like both of us are studying to do CG animation and, you know, learning 2D as well. So she really handles a lot of the modeling end and the textures and the lighting. So she handled a lot of like the look dev. I was focusing on character animation, and we kind of both contributed with story and things. A lot of it, like, because it's, you know, a group project, a lot of it just gets really shared around. But yeah, working with the team, it was kind of funny because we had like our different roles with the team. She was like the deadline, like, we got to get this done. She'd look at people and she's like, your shot isn't done yet.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
we need that. Whereas I'd be like,
different
are
people.
you doing okay? How's the shot going? So,
Yeah.
but we balance each other out that way.
That's good. There's a good balance there, definitely. No, I love it. Now there was no dialogue, you know, which was, you know, very, very powerful when you can just, you know, create something and we're just taking the visuals from your great, incredible work. But you know, it didn't need it. You know, it was already, it gave us enough, and it was more than enough, in fact. And but what was the kind of journey to, you know, kind of creating the character and sort of the story, and did you kind of know exactly where you were going with it, or did you kind of discover things as you were going through it?
A lot of it was discovering as we were going. Like the one thing I definitely wanted throughout the entire thing was no dialogue. That was the one thing I didn't want to deal with. Mainly because, like, just for me myself, I don't talk as often. So, and I thought it'd be more powerful to
It was, yeah.
to not say anything, and hopefully, and then I think in that way of not saying anything, then other people could have more of a personal intake of it. So
Yeah, absolutely. You know, again, it's has some really sort of wonderful morals that we can kind of relate to, you know, just in our everyday lives of, you know, how we're all supposed to be this way, but, you know, we're all individual, we're all different. Did you kind of want to have a sort of morale in there that was like, you know, just because I think it's suitable for children to watch, but it's also suitable for adults to watch too, and just sort of take something from it, like, yeah, you know, it's really quite awesome how we're all different, and let's all throw paint at each other as well, because that's fun too. Was that an element of which you wanted to kind of get from your audience as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It was, we were talking about how we want this to be something that people can connect with. Just in general, we want to create things that people that will resonate with people. And, you know, animation is often treated as a genre, and it's, you know, it's not, it's a medium. So we were kind of, we were going for, you know, we're not going to treat it like a genre. We're going to do this so it can connect to people, all ages, you know. I mean, we were a little bit worried about kids because he's kind of a scary design.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Although have you seen some of the Disney characters? But yeah,
It's true.
exactly.
It's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. No, I think that was really wonderful. I love that as well. I think sometimes people have the misconception that animation is just for children. I think people have the misconception that animation also is a genre as opposed to, like you say, as a medium as well. And I think it's a great education to realize, like you said, there is limitless opportunity that you can do in animation, which is just so amazing. And, you know, when you take us into this world, like, did you find it amazing when you're watching the big screen and you see the world that you created and there everyone is watching it? Because I mean, immediately we're in this world that he's in, and his studio, and with these, you know, with his people, he's like minions almost, if anything, you know. Is it amazing to see that on the big screen at NewFilmmakers LA and just kind of see like, wow, this is what we created here together?
Yeah, definitely, because like I'm so used to like my tiny little laptop.
Yeah.
It's like it's this tiny little thing, and it's just like seeing it on like the big screen is like really cool, because like, you know, we don't get that opportunity very often, because it's not like we each have our own wall projector, surround sound. It's not often.
What was your biggest challenge that you faced together making it?
I'd say some part of it was resources, because making something on that sort of a scale can be difficult when you know, like we're from Cal State Fullerton, and you know, they have a good animation program, but you know, we're not the most funded Cal State. I think we're the lowest. So, you know, we have to work with what they have. So our teacher was really helpful. He has computers for rendering, and he let us borrow those. So thank you, Andy Fedak.
Rendering, big
Rendering,
issue in animation, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We fortunately had teachers on our side, and the dean gave us special permit to come in over the summer. And so we have about like 36 computers in a classroom. So we log into each one, set it up with a few frames, and we just go for, you know,
Can you
hours.
just acknowledge that the animation that you're watching and appreciate how many? 36 you just said?
Computers, yeah.
36 computers running to do rendering for their animation short. That's incredible. So just to show the dedication and the hard work that you do. I loved your film. I loved that you found each other, and in all fear, scream out Sarah Weaver so you can find each other again. I think that's wonderful. But no, honestly, it's real. I'm glad you guys have a great collaborative efforts together, and you utilize your talents in such a wonderful way. What's next for you both, together or individually?
Yeah, we actually, when I first thought about it, because it was a group class, and I'm 1 year older than her, so I was in the program a year after her. I don't know what happened in her school schedule. Somehow she ended up in my class, but
lucky.
Yeah, she just like went ahead through the program faster than compared to other students, but because of the nature of like school, I think a lot of people, they kind of like break up, like drift away after graduation. And I knew like with the project, because it's like a year and a half, we got really close together because we were co-directing it. I was curious, like, I wonder if like, do we stop seeing each other after this? Like, what's happening? But I figured, so I approached her and was like, hey, do you want to make more? And then she was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's so good. So the journey continues.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have
That's
one
great.
we started working on, and we had to put it on hold because I just finished up my last semester.
Yeah.
And I was like, cramming for finals, trying to put a portfolio together. Yeah, so we have one that we're hoping to do next, and this one we get to do my story this time, which will be exciting, but
Fantastic.
it's daunting, but yeah.
It's amazing. Well, when you find your team, it's everything, isn't it? When you can find someone that you trust, that you can work with, that you can discover with together, that's like the most amazing thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully you've exchanged numbers now, so you haven't got to like try
Yeah,
and find
nice. She doesn't
Yeah.
have to just like run and scream throughout Anaheim. Sarah Weaver.
Yep.
Thank you for finishing Touches. I really touched me. I told you I did cry. And you will too when you watch it. But it's in a beautiful way, and in a great way that you just, you literally touched us. And that was wonderful. So thank you both for your wonderful vision, and we're very excited to see much more of your work. So thank you.
Thank you so
for having
much.
us.